put on your seatbelt. Let's go.
All right, turn up the music.
There's a killer on the loose. Look out, he's right behind you. He won't give me the eyes. I'm scared, but I'm fighting back. We are the scream queens, running through the night. We are the scream queens, gonna put up a fight, make everything alright. Floating through.
Scream Queens Horror Movie Road Trip Podcast. We are on Interstate 81 heading north to Hershey Park, Pennsylvania.
Woo! I'm just
Got-
going to do background sounds. So,
Well, you know, this is our first Pennsylvania episode. We've driven through Pennsylvania. Who knows? We may have even recorded while driving through Pennsylvania before, but we've never actually had a destination in Pennsylvania yet. So this
yes.
is 90 episodes in, 91 episodes
91
in.
episodes in, and
We made it.
I'm your final girl, and you're the sole survivor.
That's right. I'm Mr. Josh, and that's Miss Justine.
And we're here to bring you just, I don't know, an hour and a half or so of amazing content that you've been looking forward to all month long.
Yeah, we, as I said, heading to Hershey Park. We're going to ride rides, tour chocolate factories, make our own candy bar and our own Reese's Pieces. Reese's Buttercup.
It's a Reese's. They're both ginormous candy concoctions. One's going to be a ginormous Hershey bar, and the other is going to be a ginormous Reese's cup that we get to fill with our own toppings, and we are going to get so naughty nasty.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Chocolate naughty nasty.
I might end up like, Beauregard.
Yes, and we're doing all of this because we're covering the chocolate factory movie extraordinaire, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Woo, 1971, the original Gene Wilder version, which is, called Willy Wonka, not Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And this is, this is the classic. This is, to me, Gene Wilder is Willy Wonka.
Yes, yeah. While the book is called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, our favorite Mel Stewart movie, because
Yeah.
I don't know any other, even though this man, Mel Stewart, the director, has directed over 180 films, directed and produced over 180 films. I don't really know any of them, except for this.
I was looking at his IMDb. He had made some, even before this, had made some, adult movie with Elliot Gould. I mean, it's like an adult comedy about some guy that's basically like a swinger. And so he's been all over the place with his resume.
I love
but
Elliot Gould.
I really like the vision he had here. He gets to do a lot of fun stuff, like pre-CGI days, like everything, that you're watching is like in camera. They had to come up and with these sets and contraptions and just everything that's invented that you see.
Yes, behind all of this, or if we can borrow from Disney's, the Imagineering that goes on behind the scenes, all of the special effects, everything's happening right there. These are hands that are doing it. It's not any kind of computers, and nothing's pixelated. It is what it is.
And it has that really great, dirty, and I mean dirty, not as in the film looks unclean or something, but that just bright, dirty, sweaty 70s feel.
Yeah, it's
I feel like most
gritty.
movies in the 70s, everyone looks a little sweaty and everything's very brown and whatnot. But so it has that great 70s feel with a lot of color and character. There's just something really charming about this movie and scary. That's why we're covering it for our horror podcast.
Yes, it is definitely what we would call, and many others in the horror community would call, kinder horror, gateway horror. This idea that when you were younger, it sets you down the path of no return. You fell in love with this idea of creepy and spooky, scary. Adults are scary.
Yeah, all the children are in harm's way in this movie.
Yeah, there's
You know,
some
there's-
that you question if they were alive afterwards.
Yeah,
but-
and they never let you know. You're like, is Augustus dead?
No, they
Is-
do
no,
let
I
you know at the
know.
end. But for a while, you're left
Yeah.
wondering, like, did he drown?
I like to leave the movie still wondering.
Okay, we'll get there. But yeah, so I guess it's also, I mean, it's Gene Wilder, and that's what most people remember from this movie is him and his depiction of Willy Wonka.
And he adds a really creepy element to the movie just in his performance, but there's a lot of other creepy things like, the guy whispering and
Slugworth.
Slugworth. I
Yes.
almost, I knew it was Slug something. Slugworth always creeped me out as a kid. Just the idea of this guy showing up to all the winners and getting in their ear, and you're like, what is he saying to them? This is weird. What's going on? Like, there's just so much like creepy elements in this movie. It's even on Bravo's infamous 100 scariest movie moments. Empire magazine back in the day had Willy Wonka in their 100 scariest movies. So we're not alone in thinking that this movie's kind of creepy and worth covering for our podcast.
Yes, and there's also something about the idea of Willy Wonka and all these Oompa Loompas, because we don't know about the Oompa Loompas for quite some time in the movie. So when they're revealed, it's just like him saying how he saved them and now they work for him. And you're like, okay, that's a little, I think that's like labor laws and like that's scary, that you're just keeping people in your factory to
Yeah.
work for you. So all those little layers just add to that sense of like Willy Wonka is zany and he's creepy at times, but not too much like to the kids directly. It's more like the adults that he's like, he whispers to them like little riddles and stuff, and I like that because he's kind of telling the parents ahead of time like, oh, shitty things you're doing is gonna make it to where your child doesn't make it through the factory, how you've raised your kid. So should we get in it?
Yeah, and the movie starts right away with kind of like the air of mystery with Willy Wonka. I know I'm skipping like the Candyman scene for one quick second, but it starts with, the gates of the factory, Charlie looking on, a creepy guy comes up to him and is like, people always go in, but no one ever has come out in 30 years, like already setting the scene of mystery around the factory.
Yes.
And to me, even that little scene, the guy with the bike with all the stuff on it, he's...
He's like a little tinker man.
Yeah, the Tinker Man. He's... Something about him's even creepy.
Well, and it's a musical, and there are plenty of songs, like Josh mentioned, that we're going to go back now. So the actual opening of the movie is the Candyman song, and it opens with
The Candyman
there's children in a
can.
candy store, and the man that the attendant there is singing to them and talking about Willy Wonka and just how amazing all of his candy is and how great he is. And then you're like, okay.
And it starts very joyous.
Yes. And then immediately cuts to Charlie Bucket, who is our hero for the movie, and he's looking into the candy store, and we get the feeling that like Charlie probably doesn't have a lot of money. He can't just buy his candy, and he's on a newspaper route around town, and he happens upon the factory, and the Tinkerman tells him about like the people neither go in nor go out. We don't know why candy is still being made in this factory because it's still an operating factory.
Yes, but back to the Candyman thing, I wanted to mention some things about that. One, it's my favorite song in the movie, and I know that might not even be a popular opinion. I know there's a lot of fabulous songs in the movie, but something about the opening of that gives so much wonder about the factory. We start with the colorful candy being thrown around the store. So the whole movie has this weird juxtaposition with like the happy and the creepy, and it starts right away with the Candyman song cutting over to the Tinkerman, and Charlie's not a part of the song either at the beginning. He's always kind of on the outskirts looking in, always kind of like full of wonder because he has no money, he can't ever participate, and we see that throughout the movie until he gets into the factory.
Yeah, he's like part of the disenfranchised, and he's a part of the have-nots, and
that's a really good way of showing at the beginning, like these kids having a good time in this candy shop, and then he's on the outside looking in.
And maybe that is one of the grounding parts of the movie is this idea of like, yeah, not everything is joyous. There is like going to be the haves and the have-nots, and we're gonna get to see a lot of entitled children, but it's nice that our hero has those like kind of like he has his own hero's journey.
And everything's slightly off in this movie. Like, for instance, like, I'm pretty sure they're supposed to all be American. They all have American accents. But there's something very, like, British about the setting. I forgot to look. Maybe we'll mention the second part where they actually filmed the movie.
Well, I can answer that right now. They filmed it entirely in Germany.
Okay, that's why, because it does have a very, like, European feeling. Like, when he's walking around town, you're like, that's not an American town.
Yeah,
This looks, European. I didn't know if it was in England or where they had filmed it.
And Mel Stewart is a British director, and so it's filmed in Germany, and then about half the cast is American and half the cast is European or English. So there is, and maybe that's also just to kind of show like it's all over the world, and
and it shows like with the news footage later going all over the world, and a lot of the there's a German boy, there's
we have a couple of American kids, So they're just all over the place, and so while all the other kids are celebrating and singing along with the Candyman song, Charlie is doing a newspaper route. He has a job at like 10 years old, which is pretty sad.
Yeah, and he's like making the money for the family, too.
Yeah, he goes back home after having that run-in with the Tinkerman, and his mother is taking care of 4 invalid older, senior citizens. Those are all the grandparents that are sharing one bed.
And they sit like facing each other. So their feet are like up in each other's crotches.
Yeah.
It doesn't smell very good.
I
there.
mean,
4 old people like just
I
never
argue
move.
there's a lot of, there's incontinence happening.
Is there a bedpan situation? What's going on? How are they getting up? They don't move out of that bed.
No, they literally don't move out of the bed, because later on there's a whole song about Grandpa Joe moving and getting out of the bed for the first time in 20-something years.
Do they get like sponge bathed in bed? How do they change the sheets? I have so many questions.
Yeah, and like Charlie, he's a little malnourished, so because they have like cabbage stew or whatever for like dinner every night. When he comes home, he brings this like loaf of bread, and they all act like it's a feast.
Yeah, they even say it is. It's a bounty.
That's kind of sad. And on top of all of it, Charlie's like, Grandpa Joe, now that I'm making money on my newspaper route, I'm gonna buy your tobacco.
And then this is where Grandpa's like, fuck, I'm an asshole. He's like, no, Charlie, I'm not gonna have the tobacco anymore.
Yeah, like my grandson is not going to be the one that buys me tobacco, and
I had no problem with my daughter doing it. But...
No, that I was like, you know what, it's okay. It's all right that she's working so hard and doing the job of 5 people.
Yeah.
But you just immediately get not even the sense, because you're seeing it, you understand that Charlie doesn't have the greatest like life when it comes to like economically, but I'm not going to say that he doesn't, that he's lacking in like love or company. His family loves him.
Yeah, everybody seems very appreciative and loving. But it's still a weird situation, and it kind of adds to the horror of the movie.
And Grandpa Joe also you can just tell that in this town where Willy Wonka's factory is, that the biggest lure in the town is Willy Wonka.
And almost they try to portray it like all over the world, like Willy Wonka is one of the most important figures in society or something. Like everybody seems enamored with Willy Wonka, and the idea of getting these golden tickets later when that's announced. Like people are like fighting each other for these things and not gonna give up. We see a woman who won't give ransom money.
Yeah.
Because they want her supply of chocolate.
Yes, he's a very well-beloved individual in the whole world. The next morning, Charlie goes to school, and we see a teacher, I'm sure, to a certain extent that we've all had in our lives, but times 1,000. this teacher is explaining why he is the teacher and they are the student, and why please don't question him because that's rude.
How rude.
I just love that that's what we get from this teacher is, I'm not really here to teach you much. I just want you to know that you shouldn't be asking me any questions. And you shouldn't be questioning what I teach you. And he is interrupted, this teacher's interrupted, because a child runs in and is like, Mr. Wonka's made an announcement. And we hear that Willy Wonka has decided to open his gates to the world. We get these worldwide reports from all over the nation, all over the nations, all over the globes, that all of the media is talking about Willy Wonka and his 5 golden tickets that he has put in candy bars. And now, if you don't have a Willy Wonka bar, you're not just going to go buy one, you're going to go buy truckloads of it. And that's where all this like media spectacle comes from, that people are like willing to like punch their grandma to get.
Yeah. I mean, the teacher's even like, class dismissed, I gotta go try to get a ticket.
Yeah, they
know?
start calling it Wonkamania. And we get a lot of montage of, as the golden tickets are being found, we get more, as like there's less tickets to be found, more people treat it like the highest commodity and just start, keeping the bars in mass. So we get our first, it's not long, it's like the next day, they get their first golden ticket announcement, and it's a little boy in Germany, in Dusselheim, Germany, named Augustus Gloop.
Augustus.
And we meet him for the first time as he's being interviewed, but he really can't say much. He's too busy eating everything in sight.
Him and his mother. His mother even takes a bite of the microphone.
Yes. I mean, you never know.
Or does he?
Fluffy...
Or does Augustus? One of them like bites the
Yeah,
microphone.
you never know. It could be a little fluffy marshmallow, and so they're just trying to make sure. But this is also where we get our first spotting of another candy maker that's after the secrets of Willy Wonka, Slugworth, and he will pop in every time a ticket is announced.
They picked a really good actor for this part because there's just looking at him, there's something sinister about him.
Yes, he does look like the villain in a movie.
Yes, and how he just swoops in every time someone wins and starts whispering in their ears.
He kind of reminds me of like a
out.
Bond villain.
Yeah.
The look of him, like he just has a sinister...
To me, he was always the creepiest part. I know people say the boat ride.
Yes.
There's like a lot of other things, but Slugworth is what would always kind of bother me as a kid.
Yeah, he's creepy. He's just that like lurking man in the corner that, creeps you out and makes you run over to your parents. The next day it's Charlie, or even I think maybe that evening, it's Charlie's birthday, and the whole family has like pinched all their pennies and purchased him a Wonka bar.
Yeah.
And like we can tell that they but they would also love for him to win it too. It's the chance of a lifetime to get a golden ticket, to get to go to the factory and get like a lifetime supply of chocolate.
They know they'll never go hungry, at least. They'll always
exactly.
have chocolate.
Like,
I don't know if man can live off chocolate alone, but
they could sell it for other things.
That's true.
Be like, we have Wonka bars, we'll sell those and get other food. But he fakes like getting a ticket just to kind of see their reaction, and
it really disappoints everyone.
Yeah, and you can also tell that he wants it so badly, but he's trying to like not act like he wants it, like, or be disappointed. Yeah, like there's
only 5 of these in the world.
But we can tell that he really wants it. And then he offers everybody chocolate, and they're like, no, that's your gift. But it's just like, oh, Charlie, he's so giving. He loves his family so much that even his little gift of a chocolate bar he wants to share.
And then his mom sings a depressing song called "Cheer Up, Charlie."
Not yet.
Oh, not yet.
That's later, and she's doing laundry, so not for his birthday.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so Miss Veruca Salt is what's next. And
I love that band.
Yes, the Veruca Salt band.
You guys remember the 90s band Veruca Salt that named themselves after this movie and book?
And if you were going to name yourself after a character from this book, I would choose Veruca Salt as well.
Leave me lying here,
'cause I don't want to go.
Fuck
All right.
Yeah, little song break. What do you
so-
expect from us, guys?
We cut from Charlie's birthday to a factory of women opening chocolate bars and a bratty, like, tween screaming at the top of her lungs because people aren't opening chocolate bars quick enough.
Daddy!
Yes.
They're jealous of me!
She's got
They
like a
don't want
British
me to
accent.
win!
And she's posh.
Yes.
Posh little British accent. And she does, yeah, she
I
always
want it now!
thinks everybody's out to get her.
Everyone's so jealous of me.
They're not opening up the chocolate bars quick enough. They don't want me to get a golden ticket, Daddy. But yeah, so we just see that she's like a spoiled brat, and in this scene though, we get one of the staffers opens up the chocolate bar, and yay, she wins a golden ticket, and we get Slugworth popping in to whisper something in her ear. And then I like this next scene that happens. It's where because now 2 golden tickets are gone,
Yeah.
and so the
Charlie's
computer of the day is being used to try to figure out where the last 3 chocolate bars are. But I like the scene because it's like a scientist standing in front of a computer, and he's like, "All right, I'm going to show you how it'll point out where all 3 chocolate bars are." And then the computer's like, "No, that would be cheating.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that."
He's like, But I also love, too, just this 1971 computer, the state-of-the-art computer that's massive, and it's all fake anyways. It's all
Yeah.
like, beep, boop, 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 and like printing out little messages, but it's like, man, we've come a long way.
It reminds me of that part in the ride of Spaceship Earth at Epcot where they go in, the ride takes you into
like
the big
70s.
computer. I'm like, oh yay, we're in. This is exactly what is in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. All right, well, next up is our 3rd golden ticket that we find, and it's here in America in Montana, in a small town at a car lot. We meet Violet Beauregard.
She's tenacious. She knows what she's talking about. She's experienced. There's a lot of funny. There's a funny article online. Just Google Violet Beauregard should have won, and someone wrote this article stating all the reasons why she really should have won, not Charlie, and they make a good point.
Yes, I'm kind of a mind where I don't know necessarily if I disagree with that. Because
Charlie messed up too.
Yeah,
Later.
we'll talk about it, but we also know that she's an avid gum chewer, and that she gave up gum chewing just long enough to eat the chocolate bars and find out if she could get a golden ticket. And she's back to gum chewing though, guys. Yeah. She's been chewing the same thing of gum for like 100 something hours. Or
hey guys, like she has a really funny like cadence and way of talking too that I like.
Yeah, she's almost like she would be an excellent like newscaster or something. Just
well, her dad's a
delivery.
salesman. Maybe that's what they're going for. Is like she's like a young used car salesman.
She's in training.
Yeah.
And we get Slugworth whispering to her. And now Charlie is heading home. He stops off at his mom's work, which is this like shack laundromat.
Yeah, she's just like, churning boiling clothes, basically.
And he's like, "Hey Mom, did you hear? They found the 3rd golden ticket, and just in case you were wondering, it's definitely not going to be me. I'm not going to win one." And he's just upset and disgruntled, and she's like, "Charlie, one day your day will come. Like, just when you least expect it, that's when it's going to happen."
Cheer up, Charlie.
She sings a song as he walks off, and it's sweet.
A little depressing.
It's sad, yeah, because maybe, like, she's just trying to pick up his spirits, knowing that, like, the life that they have it's pretty set, What, or is it? Or
she's
is
like,
it?
one day I'll crawl into that bed and you'll have to take care of all of us.
And then there'll be 5 in the bed, and the little one said.
You'll have to drag out the dead bodies and bury us one by one.
Gross. I don't want to, yeah. That's the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory
Part
2.
two.
Mike TV. We get our next golden ticket winner on the screen, and it's Mike TV. And I looked it up, and Mike TV's name is spelled Tevi. So play on TV.
That's funny.
Because we find out that he really loves watching TV, but his name is Mike TV. I just always thought it was like a nickname for him.
And where's he supposed to be from?
Arizona.
Okay, but he has like this kind of like New York little attitude about him. Ma, I'm watching my TV.
And he's got like his like pistols and guns slinging
Yeah.
and everything, and he
He's
loves
funny.
those Wild West shows, and yeah, he loves TV. And
Oh my gosh, guys, we're driving by Amish people riding their bikes.
Oh,
Oh my
it's-
god.
it's so cute.
We are in Pennsylvania.
Dutch, Pennsylvania. Okay, so now we've gotten our 4th ticket. There's only 1 ticket left, Josh.
Only one?
Only 1. And we get this lovely scene where all of the other old people are asleep in the bed, and it's just Charlie and Grandpa that
Yeah.
are up. And Grandpa pulls out from his like pillowcase a chocolate bar that he got with the money that Charlie had given him to buy his tobacco.
But how did he get it? Did Mom go get it for
Yeah,
him?
I
and
don't
bring it to
get that.
Grandpa?
That's a plot hole. That's a plot hole. Maybe it was,
The
you know,
bed.
by Carrion Crow or
Yeah,
Owl or
so
Pigeon or something.
He had a friend come by, take his money.
Could be.
Went and got it. Something. He got it. That's all that matters.
It's just this sweet moment because they open up the chocolate bar together and they're kind of like back and forth, like, no, you open it, no, you open it, no,
Yeah.
you open it. And there is not a golden ticket
No
in there.
golden ticket.
We get this loving hug that Grandpa Joe gives to Charlie.
Oh.
And then the next scene is a news broadcast, and it's to let us know that in
Final ticket.
in Paraguay, South America, this like casino owning billionaire has opened up the golden ticket, which is like sus to me.
Yeah, and we find out it was sus. This guy was a liar.
Yeah, he had made it all up and he'd forged a ticket. And so Charlie is like Charlie decides with his newspaper route money that he's going to go and buy a Wonka bar because he thinks that all of the tickets have been found. He hasn't heard the news broadcast yet. So he goes in and buys himself a couple of chocolate bars, and then he walks out and he hears people at a newsstand talking about it. He's like, oh my god, I have a chocolate bar in my hands. Could this be it? And guess what, bitches?
It is.
It is, yeah. Our little hero has finally won
Yay.
himself a golden ticket.
And he's surrounded. His friend. There's like that guy that's always kind of nice too, or it's his boss. His boss.
His newspaper
His
route guy.
newspaper out guy's like, get out of here, run! Don't let him get you. Get out of here.
And
it
so
kinda
he's
helps,
running home, and he runs down this
Slugworth.
alleyway, and Slugworth stops him. And now we get to know what it is that
Yes.
Slugworth has been whispering to everybody.
Becomes even more sinister. He wants any info from the plant or inside the factory that they can provide.
Especially if he can get his hands on an everlasting gobstopper, because it's rumored to put every other candy maker out of business.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he wants to know. And Charlie's just like, okay, bye, I got a golden ticket.
Yeah, I gotta go tell my mom.
So he goes home and he tells his family. They're so excited, in fact, that they have to choose like who's going to go with Charlie, and Mom has to work. And so they all kind of like motivate Grandpa Joe, and Grandpa Joe sings, I've got a golden ticket.
I got a golden ticket in my eye.
And he starts walking around for the first time in over 20 years.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, this golden ticket, a little chocolate got you out of bed, Grandpa? Not motivation to provide for your family, to help your daughter? No,
Like a
chocolate.
free chocolate tour. That's what got you out. Okay. Well, the next day, I mean, it's lucky that he found this ticket when he did, because the next day is the tour.
Yeah, exactly.
And also lucky he lives just right down the road from the chocolate factory, because he didn't have a lot of time to pack or make plans. So it's the next morning, and everybody is lined outside. There's like a parade happening.
There's excitement in the air.
There's a band playing. We get our first sights of Willy Wonka as he steps out. And at first he kind of acts like he's all limping, and
He kind of falls, but does like a little somersault thing.
it's like he's walking with his cane, and then he eventually leaves his cane and then tumbles out. It's a
Yeah.
It's an iconic little scene.
Mhm.
But we get a little somersaulting Willy Wonka in our faces, and it's handsome Gene Wilder.
He knows how to entertain a crowd.
And he's like, all right, everyone, give me your tickets. Get on in here. Make our quick little introductions, and then I'm going to get you inside. And we get inside, and there's this big, ginormous written contract on a wall. It's like a really long contract that takes up an entire
And
wall
everyone's
space.
trying to read it. They're like, I don't know if I should sign this. He's like, well, you're not coming in unless you do.
And so they do. All the kids sign it. It even gets to Charlie, and Charlie looks over at Grandpa Joe's like, should I? And Grandpa Joe's like, we didn't have anything to lose. Go ahead. Like, and that's where it's different. The rest of the kids, like, they all come from affluent families, and you know, they look like the chocolate tour and a lifetime supply of chocolate might not be the biggest thing that's ever happened to their family, but it certainly would be for Charlie's. So yeah, they don't have any, or Charlie doesn't have anything to lose, where we find out plenty of other kids have a lot to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And we get like smashed into a closet, and a big reveal of like the chocolate room, and that classic dun dun dun.
Yeah, and everyone's like, okay, what are we doing in here? Why are we all smushed together? And yeah, they go to the chocolate room first, right?
Yeah, there's a big reveal of the chocolate room.
Yes.
The music comes on, that dun dun dun, and then we start singing Pure Imagination.
In a world of pure imagination. That's the song, right?
That's the song. You are right. I'm just wanted to get that microphone right up underneath you to pick up all of those lovely vocal sounds.
And it's really 70s cute. Like, you know, none of it is CGI. You could tell, like, the art designers really had fun with the sets. Got to really, you know, show what they were made of.
It reminds me a lot of the reveal of the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
You know, when she walks out of
From
the
black
house,
and white
black
to
and white
color.
to color, Technicolor, here it is, and that, you know, wonderful land with all of the little munchkins. Well, here we have this chocolate factory with Oompa Loompas walking around.
And Willy allows them to have a moment of like just going around eating whatever they can from this chocolate factory. There's even a river. Everyone's so shocked and amazed by the chocolate river and how the waterfall, Willy says, is what churns the chocolate. And he said, that's really the secret. If you want good chocolate, it needs to be churned by waterfall.
Yes, but what he did also tell them was, please don't get into the chocolate river. And Augustus was like, but I want to drink the chocolate in the river. So he does, but he gets pulled in. He falls in.
And then he gets all sucked up a tube, and he gets stuck in it. It is really frightening. You're like, holy shit, what is happening to this guy?
Everybody's like, is he gonna drown? Like, he is stuck in a tube. He's like, help!
And Willy's just like, meh, whatever.
There's so much force that's getting compacted behind him. He eventually, like, shoots through it. And the mom is, like, freaking out. Like, Augustus! Oh, no, my Augustus! So that mom gets taken by the Oompa Loompas to go find her son in another part of the factory because he's been shot out somewhere. And we get what I love are all of the little, I don't know, like, it's not even, like, little dances and songs, but the Oompa Loompas are kind of giving you like a moral tale of like, you know, if you act like this,
and the words are shooting up on screen. It's like a sing-along.
Yeah, it's like a sing and dance, and like, I love it. And they're all interactive, but they're like singing to everybody, talking about like, hey, if you act like this, bad shit's gonna happen. So you should be like the Oompa Loompas and be good.
Willy Wonka tries to give them a background history of the Oompa Loompas, how they came from this island and how they were being terrorized by this big monster that was eating them, and how they, you know, he basically rescued them and brought them to the factory to work. But, you know, the geography teacher, Mike TV's mom is like, I'm a geography teacher. There's no Loompa land.
I've never heard of that before. And Willy's just kind of like, yeah, okay. Be quiet, whatever.
Nothing phases him, Willy.
And we get, so they're like, you know what, let's keep going on our journey. I know we're lacking one family, but say lovey.
It's like,
And they get into the boat, this little paddle boat that takes them on a fun little cruise. It reminds me a little bit of like at Disney World, the Jungle Cruise.
yeah, kind of looks like that boat.
They're going through the factory
But this,
on the little river.
and this becomes an insane journey. This is where the
Yeah.
movie takes like a hard right turn or left turn, whichever way you go.
Yeah, the paddle boat cruise goes bonkers.
It becomes like this crazy psychedelic moment. He's singing like, "We don't know which way we're going, which way the river's flowing."
And actually, all that he's saying there, the little riddle song, is the only song that's taken from the original book.
Oh,
All of
okay.
the other songs and all the like all the things they say,
Yeah.
that's all made up stuff that they wrote for the movie. But what he says, the creepiest thing that's said in the whole movie, is in the book too.
That's cool.
Just
And also the visuals are insane. Like you see a chicken get its head cut off. You
Yes.
see like frogs eating insects. Just like weird shit's flashing across the screen, and you're like,
made to
along-
make you uneasy.
yeah. Along with like these psychedelic colors, and the families on the boat are freaking out. And this is the scene that's always cited as like one of the scariest
Yes.
movie moments, and it's unsettling. I'm not sure it really frightened me as a kid in that way where I'm closing my eyes, but it was just always like the weirdest moment in the movie.
And we even, in the images that they see and we see, there's Slugworth that pops up
Yes.
too, kind of reinforcing the bad guy. And
Mhm.
Charlie, take note of it, points it out to Grandpa. You could just tell that, like, maybe Charlie's going to make some different choices than the rest of the kids.
Yeah.
So they get off the boat, it quickly stops, and they appear, and they're right back onto the other side of the factory. So there's no more chocolate room, although there's still a chocolate river. But now they are standing outside what is called the inventing room. And everybody's ears prick up at this point because they know this is what Slugworth has
really-
been
yeah.
waiting for. And Willy Wonka even points it out. He's like, what you are about to see is where the dreams are made and where, we throw spaghetti at the wall kind of thing. This is the room that Slugworth
Wants
would
it.
die to be in for 5 minutes.
Yeah. And you're like, yeah, you would. And one of these kids might just betray you, Willie.
Just might. So we get a visit into the inventing room, and Willy Wonka gives each of the children an everlasting gobstopper. It's like, I'll give you this if you promise to only keep it for yourself. It's an amazing invention that I have. And we hear here from Willy Wonka why he wants to make this candy. And I love what he says. He says, for the children with very little pocket money.
Mm-hmm. They'll always have candy. It'll never go away.
I love that. He's not worried about making money. He wants to make children happy, and he wants to be that little spark of joy in their broken day.
Cause the candy man can.
So
The candy man can, cause he fixes it with love and makes the world taste good.
The candy man can. Woo!
Yes, queen.
So, and then they stop by another invention, which makes gum. So Violet Beauregard is like, hell yeah, bitches, I'm here. And it's like a 3-course meal that gets shoved into a piece of gum. But Wonka wasn't offering anybody to try it. He even says, like, it's not ready yet.
She's
but,
like, I'm a gum expert.
yeah, I'm Violet. I'm going to be fine. And she immediately gobbles it up. Her dad's so excited too. He's like, tell me what's in it, baby. Tell me.
She's like, I can taste tomato soup. It's warm and going down my throat.
Ooh, roast beef. And carrots and potatoes and gravy. Oh, here comes dessert. Blueberry. And then all of a sudden she starts to turn blue.
I love how the effect is obviously just like a blue light on her face too.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's still
I mean,
cool. I like it.
she looks blue to me.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she's not just blue, she's puffing up and becomes
Yeah.
a blueberry. And Willy Wonka tells the dad, all right, well, we're going to have to take her to the juicing room.
Yeah, we're gonna have to juice her.
Dad's like, wait, what? She's filled with juice?
He's like, can't you just pop her? And he's like, no, it's not air, it's juice.
Yeah, he even says, like, are you serious? Like, if I popped her, like, she'd explode. We have to juice her. I just
Duh.
like how everything, like,
Very
it
matter
makes
of fact.
sense to Willy Wonka. He's like, who are you? Duh, she's juice now. She's a blueberry. That's why I don't want her to eat it, because it's always at the blueberry part.
Yeah, he's like, the dessert's where these always mess up.
So she gets rolled away, and we get another Oompa Loompa moment. I just love the little songs that they sing. They remind me of, like, the little Grimm fairy tales that you would read in a book, you know, like...
The bad things happening to the kids.
Yes.
And this movie is a series of vignettes, basically. It's them going from room to room and finding weird, funny stuff.
And the next room they go into is where... Oh, you know what I was going to say, though, about the Oompa Loompa song? With it all about chewing gum. To me, it's like your song to the world about gum chewing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily mind gum chewing. It's when people, like, smack their gum or do that thing where, like, maybe they're not smacking while they chew it, but then they move it around in their mouth, so it's like when they're, like, moving it around to chew on the other side. Ugh. I just don't like those kind of smacky mouth noises.
He doesn't like it.
I don't like it.
And then next we have the fizzy lifting drink room. And this is where our hero
Messes up.
he gets in a little bit of trouble.
They're told they cannot drink the drink. It's not ready yet. There's almost too much fizz in it or something they say.
Yeah, but Willie doesn't really explain why, and I get why he doesn't, because at every turn it's a test.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are the kids going to listen to me, or are they going to do what they want? And in that regard, Charlie did listen to him.
Yeah, it's Grandpa that really messes up. He's like, hey, Charlie, everyone's gone. No one's looking. Let's take a little sip. But Charlie doesn't hesitate. He's like, okay.
Yeah, like, because why would he think that Grandpa Joe would lead him astray?
Yeah, that's true.
So Charlie's just listening to his grandpa. I mean, Grandpa Joe loves him. Grandpa Joe wants him to have fun and wants him to have memories.
Grandpa Joe's lived in a bed and hasn't provided for the family in 20 years.
Right, so maybe Grandpa Joe doesn't always make the best choices. But we listen to those that we love sometimes, even when they're, you know, bless you.
Mm-hmm.
So Grandpa Joe and Charlie take a little swig, and at first nothing happens, and then all of a sudden their feet lift off the ground. They're flying. They're like spinning up in the air. They start having fun with it and zooming around, and they start getting higher and higher. They look up, and there's this vent and fan that's rotating and oscillating.
They're about to get chopped up.
Yeah.
They're going to get chopped.
And they even say it like, oh my God, we're going to die. We're going to get chopped up. Help! And I guess it's in this moment when they're just like freaking out, and your body's probably just like kind of convulsing, and it knows like its death is imminent, that Charlie burps, and then they start descending down.
They're like, oh, we gotta burp it out. We just gotta get all this gas out of us.
Which is kind of like, yeah, of course.
Farts would have probably propelled them up higher.
Do you think? Because I think farts would have been the same as burps, and they would have let
help
gas
them
out.
Go down. It's just like the dynamics of the air, which way it's going. The fart is pushing out. The burp comes up.
No,
so you go
it's
down.
the same, but it's the same signs of the air's getting out of you.
I just feel like a fart would have propelled them higher.
Well, but they were propelling themselves higher. They were having fun, but getting the gas out because it's a fizzy lifting drink.
Right.
So I just think if they would have farted, they might have like just immediately dropped.
I think it would have shot them up because of the force, but then they would have dropped really hard.
Like a turd.
About,
okay, well, neither of these things happen because they don't fart. They just burp.
They burp themselves down.
Eventually get all the way down to the ground, and then they go right off. Back. They're like, oh, let's get back with the group. They're not going to notice that we were gone for like 15 minutes at all.
And then is the next thing the weird like wall tonguing scene where they're all like tonguing the walls?
Yeah, they get...
Go to some nursery and they're like, oh, the wallpaper is all edible.
The schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
Yeah. Like, what's a schnozberry?
He's like leading them down the hallway. Charlie and Grandpa Joe like catch up, and they're all licking the walls.
Yeah, and you just see Grandpa like tonguing the wall. Like, it's so weird.
And Veruca says like, schnozberries? I've never even heard of a schnozberry. She's got her tongue out. And Willy Wonka says, we are the dreamers of dreams, and takes her into the room that she's going to have her demise in. It's the golden egg room.
And she wants a golden egg. She's already like, Daddy, I want a golden egg. Or a goose.
A goose, yeah. I want a
geese,
golden
a goose.
goose to lay golden eggs, and then she sings a
Gooses,
song about it.
geeses.
I want a goose to lay golden eggs for Easter. And she thinks about how she wants the world. It's weird. She gets her own, like,
I want the whole world.
I Need song from Disney, but she's not a princess. She thinks she's a princess, so maybe that's why she sings her song like that. But she ends up standing on the egg meter that decides if it's a good egg or a bad egg, and we all know how we all feel
She's
about
not
her.
a good egg.
Bad egg she is, and down the chute she goes, and her dad is like, oh my God, where'd she go? And then he falls in after her and gets graded a bad egg as well.
See ya.
So now we're just down to 2.
Mike TV and Charlie.
And we get the Oompa Loompas again talking about how you shouldn't be a brat.
And then we know the next room is specifically to test Mike TV because it's all about TV and transmitting like the bars through the TV, and they don't believe it can happen. So he shows them, like, here's this huge giant Wonka bar. It's got to be big because when it transports, they always come out smaller.
Yeah.
So he shows them, and it pops up in the TV, and he's like, that's just a picture, Mike TV. And he's like, no, it's really the chocolate. So he pulls the chocolate bar out of the TV, and it's little. It's like regular sized.
Yes. Yes. Willy Wonka has proven that you can transmit actual things, and then it'll pixelate in the air, and then it'll just downsize on a TV screen. And Mike TV's like, okay, can you do it with everything?
He's like, yeah, but maybe you shouldn't.
Maybe we don't do that because I've never tried it before. But Mike TV's like,
I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna be the first, and he flips the switch. And what I do love is Willy Wonka will always say, like, kind of under his breath, yeah, like, no, don't stop. But Mike does it, and the Oompa Loompas can't even save Mike TV before it, like, lasers him, and he gets transmitted.
Million little dots.
And then he appears again in the TV, but he's like the size of a thumb. He's so tiny.
Mom puts him in her purse.
She's passing out too. She's like, I can't even deal with this. He's got to be taken to the Laffy Taffy room to be stretched.
To be stretched back out.
So
makes sense to me.
There's always a rhyme and reason with Willy Wonka. And then it's like, okay, so this happens. Mike TV gets super small, and he gets the Oompa Loompas take him off, and then it just like ends abruptly. Wonka just turns around and is like, all right, well, I hope you enjoyed the tour. Bye. And walks off. And
this really disappoints Charlie. He's like, hey, I made it to the end. And Grandpa's there too. And Grandpa's upset. He's like, I'm going to go speak to him. And they go into like this little office room that Mr. Willy, is sitting and writing in like a journal or something. And
the office room is all like cut in half. There's half a sink, there's half of everything, half a chair.
And Willy becomes a little hostile in this moment, or he's at least telling them what's up. They're like, hey, we made it to the end. Why didn't we get the lifetime supply of chocolate? And Wonka goes off.
Yeah.
He's like, I know what you did. You drank my fizzy drink. You flew up. Now all that's got to be cleaned. Because you nasty.
Yeah, you've
been in the bed for 20
all
years.
The walls, and yeah, now my Oompa Loompas are having to clean all of the walls. So you get nothing. You broke
nothing,
the rules.
sir.
You get nothing. And then he gets right back to work, and Grandpa Joe's like, "You're a swindler. You're a crook.
Yeah.
You're the worst." And
how could you do this to a child?
But Charlie, he's like, I'm gonna go high. And he sets the everlasting gobstopper on the table and tells Willy Wonka goodbye and walks out, or almost walks out. But then Willy Wonka's like, oh, "You did it. You won.
You gave me the gobstopper. You weren't gonna betray me to Slugworth.
You're not gonna sell my secrets. You are exactly what I've been looking for, Charlie. I needed a child because an adult would just want to do things the way they want to do it, but a child would, learn from me and learn my ways and take care of the Oompa Loompas. And guess what, Charlie? You're not just getting a lifetime supply of chocolate. I'm giving you the whole damn factory.
You're going to be the candy man.
Isn't that so cute?
And he's so happy, too.
And
Grandpa.
Yeah, Grandpa Joe's like, what about, like, all of us? And he's like, nope, you're coming too. We're going to go get everyone. And they get in the Wonkavator.
Yeah. And they
the
fly off.
Wonkavator shoots them out of the factory up into the sky. And here's, like, another practical, like...
Mm-hmm. And they're flying over Europe, America.
Yeah. We don't know really where it is, but it's Charlie's town. And he's like, oh, there's our little house.
It's like cute little storybook town. It's probably exactly what Roald Dahl was envisioning.
And so the final scene is Charlie realizing he's gonna be like Willy Wonka. He's gonna have a chocolate factory, and he's inheriting quite a bit. And his day did come, like his mom said, when he least expected it.
Moms are always right.
They are. And that's the end. He inherited a chocolate factory, and we are going to a chocolate factory.
I'm so excited for this, guys. We have so many roller coasters to ride today. We're going to do a chocolate factory tour. We're going to make a candy bar and a Reese's cup. Can't fucking wait.
He's over the moon. We've watched TikTok videos and YouTube videos about it.
I think my candy bar is going to be... My idea right now is like cherries and candy bacon. I think that sounds good.
Ooh, that's yummy. Yeah, I definitely want to see if they have like honeycomb.
Ooh.
And I think that texture would be really yum with chocolate, and maybe like some orange peel. I love a little bit of fruit in my chocolate to mix. So
yeah, we'll come back. We'll tell you what we actually made, if it's any good.
I'm sure
All
it's
that
gonna be
stuff.
good. It's Hershey's chocolate.
Yeah. Woo.
So we will be back in just a few minutes.
Yeah, just stay tuned.
Or seconds actually.
Yeah, listen to a few seconds of Bad Athletes, Scream Queens, and we'll be right back.
All right, bye.
Got you figured out. Tough luck, you're in my world now. I have no doubt, I have no fear. I'm gonna make you disappear. We have the scream queens running through the night. We are the scream queens, gonna put up a fight, make everything alright.
Welcome back, everyone. We are on Interstate 40 heading back to Oklahoma from a wonderful trip to Chocolate Factory and more.
A chocolate factory and more. Yeah, from Hershey Park, Pennsylvania. We had the time of our lives.
Yeah, when we last talked to you, we were like, I think, about to pull into the parking lot at Hershey Park, and got there about 10 a.m., right at open, and had the best day at a park that you could have.
They didn't have rope drop, it wasn't Disney, but it was something else, and it was great. The park it's well imagined, but what I like about it is that a lot of its roller coasters kind of intertwine with each other, and
yeah, they've utilized the space really well, and it makes it look really fun, and like you said, intertwined. Everything kind of flows together really nice. The park is big, it's clean, nice of shade, lots of shady areas and trees, which is really helpful when it's so hot out. Another thing I really liked was all the food options at Hershey Park. They had lots of food trucks and restaurants and cafeterias and concession stands.
Mm-hmm.
So
and
nothing was
been
too
well
crowded.
Thought out. Yeah.
So nothing was too crowded. And we went on what? A Tuesday or a Monday?
And it was glorious. The weather, it was hot, but with the shade and they did have alcohol in the park, so we could have a beer.
We had one beer. It was really hot. We didn't want to get too crazy and, end up barfing.
We went to one of the food. They had these food trucks that were available inside the park, and so we hit up one of those. There were also cafeteria-esque. It just kind of reminded me a lot of quick service places at Disney.
Yeah, and like you said, the park is well thought out. It's not as imagineered or as glorious as a Disney park. It doesn't have all the money like a Disney brand does. And there's some things that Disney would never do. You can see a lot of the staging area and big industrial electronic stuff, kind of like from the rides, whereas Disney always tries to hide that kind of stuff. But other than that, it was really great, and some of their mascots are a little funky.
Oh my gosh, and it's all candy.
It's all candy, but with all the same, like, expressions. You know, they try to what's it called?
Yeah, it's like they have
yeah.
arms and legs, like a Hershey's bars walking around, and a Reese's cup, and that's all cute.
The little Twizzler lady's kind of silly, but I mean, it's a lot of fun, and the kids are really into it. People are lined up to take pictures with them, and
all the rides have fun names. And what I loved the most about the park was the roller coaster. The amount of roller coasters that we rode on. It was insane. To start our journey, we walk in and there's this massive roller coaster right in front of our faces called Candemonium, and it kind of like set the stage for us of like what to expect out of the park.
it was a lot of fun. It's definitely thrill ride heavy. You know, you go to Disney and it's a lot of like gentle rides, or like, it's more about like the animatronics and all the special effects, which is awesome. I love that. Hershey Park's more of like your old school, like you're coming to ride some roller coasters.
Yes.
And thrill rides. And we rode as many as we could. I think there was like 2 we didn't make it to because we had to go to the actual factory kind of part and do that leg. But we rode so many fun roller coasters. Some of the best I've been on in ages.
And thank goodness, like we got the fast pass so that we could not have to wait in long lines and be able to just kind of like experience the park as much as possible. And we got like the drink pass so we could have like our souvenir cup but be able to fill it up at a lot of locations. I love that. There was a lot of convenience in the food ordering, or if you just wanted to go get a drink, or
even the lockers are free, and you get to a lot of rides and they'll tell you like you have to go put your stuff up in the locker. It will, your hat will fly off your head, your glasses will fly off your face. They either would have little cubbies up at the front before you got on the roller coaster to put on, or they would tell you like go put it in one of the free lockers. And that was helpful, especially with someone like me who wears glasses. I'm always like, what am I supposed to do with my stuff? Like putting them in my pockets, hoping they don't break.
And the rides didn't like have the little baskets like that rode with you, because they were serious. They're like, no, our rides are actually going to. You're going to have that stuff fall off or fall out of a pouch.
You're going to go really fast, and you might go upside down.
Oh my gosh, yes. There was one experience that I will not forget. And so we went on the Super Duper Looper, and I thought like, I don't know, I feel like maybe that ride's name really hypes it up.
And it's like one loop.
One loop. It's a one loop ride. But also we had this weird moment where we and some other people were trying to like help each other out and work how you would plan to ride in the cart. They wanted a couple friends to move over so that they could all experience the ride at once, and they were willing to give us like their spot.
And then it kind of backfired, and we ended up having to wait around a little while longer for just weird reasons.
And and the like attendant like called us out. It was so strange. We all thought we were getting in trouble for a while, but then it was. So other than that little hiccup on the Super Duper Looper, our ride experiences were like A++.
My favorite was called 97 degrees Fahrenheit, and it had like the steepest hill that you went up. So steep that I had to close my eyes because you're on your back going up. Not just like, the hill where it's like click, 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 click. You're on your back going straight up into the air. And then once we started rounding, I could open my eyes. But something about just being on my back
and you do a drip
climbing
drop
into the sky really freaked me out.
You go all the way up at that 97 degree, and then you drop at it, and it was frightening.
It was awesome, though.
My stomach was in my mouth.
Yeah, it was one of the best coasters I've been on in a long time. That and one called the Great Bear.
Yes, the Great Bear was fun because how we were all like dangling. Like
you were dangling?
I had my feet dangling because remember how it was like off kilter a little bit, and you weren't necessarily
off on the side.
Yeah, so I had that. I was off to the side, and so my feet were just dangling off the ride, and that gave me a moment of anxiety.
Yeah.
But it ended up being just a fabulous experience. And then after we had kind of the park experience, we got to go into the Hershey's Chocolate Factory area and do some candy creating.
But before we get there, I would like to say get the Fast Pass. There's different levels of Fast Pass. We got the one where it's like you get to ride each ride just once and you can go through quick. There's another level where it's like just all day you can get on whatever
You can ride it as
multiple
many times.
times and skip the line. But for us, we'd never been, so we didn't have a favorite ride yet or anything. So just getting to do that really helped, especially in the heat. It helps you not stay in those lines that long. You can get back out of the sun. So recommend that. Also, there's some really good food trucks. We ate some good French fries, and I had a fruit cup in the park.
Yeah, you have been all about that fruit cup for the last week.
It was good. It was so fresh.
So fresh fruit cup. And it was kosher.
Yeah,
It was a kosher chicken tenders like stand, but they had French fries, and I cannot pass up French fries.
Yeah.
Never, never.
I love a French fry. So that's pretty much all we had for lunch, but we drank those sodas all day.
Yeah, and we knew
We were
we
gonna
gonna have chocolate. So yeah, it's not like we were like, oh, we're like pecking on our food like birds. Look at us. No, we were about to go and stuff our cup. A 1-pound Hershey's Reese's cup bar.
And you go out of the actual park to go over to the next part, and I guess you could go and just do that experience.
You can.
It's called,
yeah.
what, the World of Hershey, or
Mhm.
what's it called?
And it looks just like a factory. Like they have like the little pipettes coming out of the, like in.
Yeah, like Wonka.
Mhm.
But they do tell you, like you go in, they have stopped doing real factory tours in the 70s. So
Yeah.
we didn't get like a legit tour of the Hershey factory, but we got like a simulated ride that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was called the Hershey factory tour ride. So they to simulate like everything. It looks like chocolate and vats.
And it's
but-
very Disney. Like there's like
Yeah.
all the characters singing songs, and like it was a lot of fun just
And it was
riding
long
that.
too.
And it was AC'd. It was air
Yes.
conditioned, so
All inside.
that was really nice.
Mm.
But it's in the same complex where you get to have kind of a factory experience where you go in, you got to wear an apron and put like the funny little thing over your hair, and you get to build your candy bar.
Mhm. And you get to watch it being made and cooled in this like cryo chamber and filled in, and you get to pick the toppings. Okay,
Yeah.
let's get into our.
And you get to make like the packaging it comes in.
Yes, yeah,
too.
you get to decorate your own. And you can put like your personalized, name, and maybe you're celebrating something like I celebrate my birthday.
And
so
then
I did
we
that.
had to make the 1-pound Reese's cup also, like we told you, and they were yummy.
But like what so my fillings for my 1-pound Reese's cup, because I know you guys are dying to know, I put potato chips inside it. It was so good.
They didn't have all the options we were kind of talking about before. Like when you get there,
We
they
were-
have
we were
maybe
hoping for-
like 8 things to pick from,
Yeah.
and you can put like 4 in your
Yeah,
Reese's
you
cup.
can do up to 4, and then you can do a sauce.
Yeah, or
and,
2 sauces. I did 2 sauces.
Yeah, you were like a rebel.
I was really saucy.
You were saucy for sure. Well, I put marshmallows and chips, and then those little Oreo crumbles and dark chocolate chips, and then my chocolate sauce. That was kind of like
Yeah.
my cup.
I did chocolate chips, brownies, Reese's Puff cereal, and marshmallows. And then I drizzled mine with caramel and chocolate.
You
on top.
drizzled
It
that
got
shit.
drizzled. Or was it peanut butter sauce? I can't remember now.
And we got to choose if we wanted it in a dark chocolate shell
cup.
thingy. I chose dark chocolate and a milk chocolate topper because I was just being cute.
And I did the opposite. I did milk chocolate with a dark chocolate topper.
And then we also got to choose the candy bar like chocolate too. We got a lot of decisions on like the chocolate.
Yeah, I chose dark chocolate for
Me
mine,
too.
but it still tasted like just a regular, like Hershey's Kiss. The chocolate to me.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Hershey's Kiss, Josh and I both picked up the cutest little souvenir ever.
Yeah, they're really cute.
And it's a candy dish,
Shape.
crystalled,
Yeah.
like
Really glass. It's not crystal, but it
Yeah.
looks like crystal.
but it's shaped like a Hershey's Kiss, and you take the topper off, you put your little candy in there. I cannot wait to put it in my room.
Yeah, they're really cute.
Now, our time had ended there. And we were exhausted,
well,
right?
we do need to tell you not to waste your money on another experience that you can like pay for in the factory area. I forget what it's even called, but it's basically like a movie that's supposed to be interactive, but it's really cheesy.
I'm sorry.
And not worth the money.
No, all you need to do is go in and make your candy bar and your Reese's cup, and then do the ride tour thing, which is free.
The other thing is just weird. It's supposed to be like a little movie, but it's like maybe 10 minutes, but you got to pay what, $15 or something?
It was like an add-on on your ticket, and it wasn't cheap. So
not worth it.
No, 86 that.
I would tell you to go see it if it was free, because I'd be like, yeah, good way to get out of the AC. Go see that little show.
Yeah,
but
no, you
not
don't
for the
pay
money.
that.
It's ridiculous.
But when you're in the world of Hershey, there's so many different chocolates and candies in there. And I bought a whole bunch of not Reese's bars, Hershey's bars, but they're like unique flavors.
Yeah, you
And
did. That's right.
I'm excited to try all of those, take a little nibble from them.
Yeah, the
Did
gift
you get-
shops were pretty extensive, both in the park and at the World of Hershey. They had good gift shops, so if you like merch, like buying things with like Hershey Park or like the name of the place,
Yeah,
you
memorabilia. Go jump in there.
Yeah.
But now we were done, and now we're done. Like we're just heading. We're heading home. We're in the state of Oklahoma. Ugh. I'm sad.
But we had a great time. If you're over on the East Coast and you're close to Hershey Park and you like theme parks, thrill rides, go. It's definitely worth it.
100% would totes agree. Check that box.
Check it.
Go. Well, let's segue into, and by segue I mean let's segue, and then that's how we'll do it. Let's get back into the movie, to our chocolate factory experience.
Yes.
Tell me, Josh, what's your favorite scene?
Okay, you go first.
Okay, I guess I'll go first, and probably I would say I love just when he does his song in the opening of him, you know, like
the kind
singing.
of Wizard of Oz moment where they first go into the factory and it's all colorful and he sings this song. Yeah, that's great.
I love it because it's like it's a cherishable moment. It's before all the kids get just awful in their own ways. And he is being very playful. He is this dreamer, this wanderer, this man, this mystery, an enigma who came up with the chocolate factory. And I like the song too.
Yeah.
So.
And perfectly played by Gene Wilder. No, he's untouchable. Johnny Depp, great, but will never be my Willy Wonka.
No.
Timothy Chalamet, great actor. He's
Yeah.
never going to be my Willy Wonka.
I love that.
Gene Wilder.
Love that, like, world of pure imagination song scene, and we just get the unveiling of this beautiful candy world. And then it now reminds me of our own candy world experience that we just had, making our candy bars.
That's true.
So, it's like, it's not the most, like, none of the kids die in the scene, or have any troublesome moments, but I like it because it is so sweet.
Yeah, it's great. Mine is probably, I think it really sets the tone nice. It's my favorite song. I love the Candyman song.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure that's my favorite scene, but it's a great opener. It really sets the tone, gives it like this sense of wonder right from the beginning. But, I don't know, I really love when Violet Beauregard turns into a big-ass
Big old blueberry, yeah.
Like, when I was a kid, I thought that was so funny and creepy. You're kind of like, oh, no, is she going to... all the kids are like, are they going to die?
Well, she's getting juiced, you know?
Yeah, they got to go juice her. But,
any scene with the Oompa Loompas where they're kind of cleaning up the mess,
yeah.
I love. Those are a second place for me, for sure. Just them coming in, telling you the moral, the tale, and doing their little gymnastics and taking the kid away, or getting them through the air chute. I like all of those too, but
and like I was saying earlier, there are a lot of creepy scenes, like the boat ride scene I could say is my favorite, but it's never been my favorite. It is where the movie kind of takes a turn where you're like, okay, maybe Willy Wonka is unhinged, maybe he is going to try to hurt these people. And that does give you kind of a sense of dread, but it's not my favorite scene.
Yeah.
And to me, the creepiest part was always Slugworth.
Yeah, Slughorn coming in,
Slughorn?
and Slughorn,
Yeah.
I think is his name, and him like always just leaning in and like.
Slugworth. I forgot.
Slughorn, but I think Slugworth is a character from a Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
So, anyways, yes.
It's been like a week since I've watched the movie now, so.
Him dipping in and kind of whispering in the kids' ears, and you're just thinking like, oh no, what is he telling them?
And that actor just has one of those faces that, that is kind of scary.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't hear what he's saying. He just shows up, starts whispering in their ears until till Charlie gets the ticket. You ever hear what he's actually saying to the kids? And even then it's like, well, why are you what? You're bad. You're a bad man.
You're a bad man. And I don't like you. Get away from me. Okay, so we're at the end, and I love this movie. This is like a movie that takes me back to childhood. I have very fond memories of watching it, being a little scared and skittish around like certain parts of the movie, but I know that it's because of movies like this that I have such a love for the genre of horror.
I can remember the first time I watched it, I was like 8 years old. It was an Easter, and my mom had to work, and my oldest sister got us KFC, because I think it was like one of the only things open on Easter, and we watched that. She's like, this is one of my favorite movies. You guys are going to love it.
Well, I like that too, because like candy, Easter, there's a lot of candy going on around that time.
I think it was playing on TV is why we watched it. It was going to be on TV. And that's back in the day where like you looked in the TV guide and saw what was going to come on later. And so, yeah, that was always a special memory. But yeah, it's a total 5 knives out of 5 movie for me.
Yeah, 5. For sure. 5 knives, stab, all over the place.
And I mean, it might not even be the most technically achieved movie, even at its time, but it's so great, full of magic and colorful and great characters and music. It plays so fast, and you get all these great vignettes where just like madness is happening in each one of them. Kids are getting their comeuppance, and it's just so much fun.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Echo it, 100% ditto.
And it has that air of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Where there's something off always looming. Something creepy is in the air the whole time. Something a little ominous about Willie that does kind of keep you on the edge of your seat in some sense.
I love too the shots of like the town where it's like it is European. You're kind of like, oh, where is this place?
Some people have British accents, some have American. What's going on?
Yeah, it's very picturesque. I like that about it too. Very colorful movie, and it's a clear vision for me.
Definitely evokes a time and place.
Time and place, and place and time.
That's right.
It might be a Slughorn, it might be a Slugworth. Now I'm in my head like, what is it?
I'm looking it up before we get
go ahead and
off
look
here.
it up. It's like, now I'm like, is the Harry Potter teacher the Slugworth guy? Or is it Slughorn? Now I can't find it in my notes, and it's late.
Trying to find it.
Oh well, it doesn't matter. We know the character. We know the character. What he was up to. We are looking it up. But next up, while we're looking Slugworth. Okay, so you were right. So we're gonna talk about what we're up to next.
Yes, guess what, guys? It only took us nearly 100 episodes, but we're going international next month. We're going to España.
Yeah, episode 92 is going to be in Barcelona. Woo!
So we will record on our way down to the airport. We're flying out of Dallas, so it's a good 3-hour drive. Funny enough, we probably could have flown out of Oklahoma City, but we knew we needed to build in a road trip, so we were like, let's just...
Well, we needed time to drive and talk about the movie, and we are going to cover Pedro Almodovar's The Skin I'm In.
You didn't write it down?
Yeah, I didn't write it down. I wrote down Pedro's name and didn't write it down. The Skin I'm In, I think, is what it is.
Yeah, The Skin I Live In.
The Skin I Live In.
But
so it's got Antonio Banderas,
Penelope Cruz. It's Pedro Almodovar, is one of my favorite directors, and I've never seen it, but this is him kind of going into horror territory, or at least thriller, and we just thought it'd be a fun one to do.
Yeah. We thought it'd be a fun one to do.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun.
So we're going to do it. You're going to love it.
So we're going international. Come back for episode 92 next month, guys.
Crazy flight.
In the meantime, though, we got a long flight ahead of us.
Yeah, we've got a long flight ahead of us, but we're looking forward to it.
Yay! Find us on all the social medias. Please go give us that 5-star review and give us a little review. It really helps us out when you guys do that. And find us on YouTube,
yeah.
all the places, and we love you.
We're
We'll
there.
see you soon.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.